Wine lover Monty has moved to a stunning area of rural southwest France to live out a dream of becoming a winemaker and to lead a self-sufficient lifestyle.
Can't think of a better place to go to work.
He's training up Lindsay, a complete novice, into a vineyard assistant.
So would this be a Syrah grape?
How did you know that? Have you been looking at the label?
No, honestly, I haven't.
After 9 months, the fruits of their labour are nearly ready to be picked. Monty's praying his efforts to grow the grapes using planetary and lunar forces will make 6,000 bottles of delicious red wine with a big difference.
Sweet, that is quite sweet, really.
Some fantastic flavours in there, really complex.
This week, there's a panic over when to harvest.
Looks like I'm going to have to bring the day of picking forward by 24 hours, otherwise we're going to get rained on.
And Monty rolls out the red carpet for a highly regarded wine expert.
But have some more wine.
Who gives Monty's biodynamic ideas a really rough ride.
Complete hogwash. Pie in the sky.
It's now September in the Pyrenees. Charming. The tourist season is over. But for all the local wine growers, it's the moment they've been waiting for all year. For Monty, this is the culmination of a dream he's had for 10 years. But first, he needs to assess the damage after a rather unusual overnight raid on his vineyard. Last night, he and Lindsay camped out in their newly renovated shack to protect their precious crop from attack by local wild boar.
The boar did come in. It's difficult to know really exactly how much they've taken, but it's just annoying, you know. Harry, bless him, got in there and scared them away. I was kind of torn between him saving the day grape-wise and him getting gored. But hats off to the little man. He did his job, and we're going to live to fight another day. The noise that he made and the fear he would have created in their minds means that they won't be back until these grapes are picked in a couple of days' time. So that's a real bonus.
The boar's wild night out has cost Monty about 30 bottles of wine and a sleepless night. But being at one with nature is not Lindsay's idea of a good night out.
Probably woke up, I reckon, it'd be like an hour or two.
Breakfast is the full Monty, with a Catalan twist.
This is a great diet, by the way, potato and bread and eggs. All homemade or all from the garden? All this. Sunrise. It's nice.
Monty's in seventh heaven and relishes the tranquility.
It's not very biodynamic, is it?
What isn't? What, cleaning my teeth with an electric toothbrush?
Monty has organised to pick the grapes in 3 days' time, to coincide with a full moon. But to be sure the grapes are perfectly ripe, he makes a final check.
I'm going to give you this. It's a refractometer. Measures the sugar in the grapes. It'll tell us basically how much alcohol the wine will have.
12 were on there.
There we go, that's not bad.
So what's it supposed to be then?
Well, ideally we want it to be around about 12.5, 13.
Oh, so it's nearly there then?
Nearly there.
So this actually lets you know then when the grapes are ready to be picked?
It gives us one bit of information, and the other bit of information is just tasting the grapes.
Tastes really nice.
Everything is now set for the harvest. In the village, Monty's picking troops have started to muster.
Right, Linz, this is Francesca.
Buongiorno.
His girlfriend Silvana is back from Italy,
Nice to meet
but this
you.
time she's brought her mother.
Hello, how are you doing? Did you have a nice trip?
Monty's also rallied best chum Graham.
Was it?
With these extra mouths to feed, Monty's plan is to take advantage of his cockerel.
Yeah.
Se non vuoi ammazzare nessuno, inventa qualcosa o non ammazziamo nessuno.
No, Yeah, it's not the time for baby chickens to hatch because the weather's too difficult. There's no food, there's no light. So basically, he's going to be eating food, which is very expensive organic food, for the next 6 months. He won't be useful. So might as well kill him and eat him because he's had absolutely 100% organic diet.
For Monty, this is what self-sufficiency is all about.
You never liked them.
But he's not man enough to do the killing himself. So Silvana's mother takes charge.
She's the queen when it comes to dispatching any livestock.
Oh! Fine.
See?
Well, I've just never seen it before. I've never seen anything being killed before at all. And it was just a bit of a, I don't know, just a little bit of a shock.
The harvest is now just 48 hours away. But bad storms are looming on the horizon and threatening Monty's plans.
Looks like I'm going to have to bring the day of picking forward by 24 hours, otherwise I'm just worried that if I leave it, we're going to get rained on. So tomorrow, if I pick, I'll get, in theory, some sun, and if I wait, I'm going to get lots of rain, because the rain's coming in off the Atlantic here.
Io ho visto, quando sono entrata, io scherzavo.
If you could make it on a day earlier, then that'd be really
It's harvest time across the whole of France, and changing the picking day could leave Monty short-handed. But there's always the local expats, hopefully keen to help a fellow Brit in a spot of bother.
Howdy doody. Not yet. Hi. How you doing? Grapes looking nice, but I've got a window of 24 hours to pick them.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you.
No problem.
It's a bit of a panico, listen.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Looks like it's all systems go for tomorrow.
Back dans le village, grubs up in the shape of a freshly killed cock.
Yeah, basically, she says it's well worth killing him, and she's just very upset that we didn't do the geese as well.
Valeva la pena comunque ammazzare anche le oche.
It's slightly tough, but it's nice, isn't it?
It's superb. To the cock.
Oh.
Tomorrow at dawn, Monty will discover if bringing the harvest forward was a smart call. It's D-Day. Monty hasn't slept a wink, worrying about the weather. If the forecast is right, he only has today to handpick the entire vineyard. Although he's hired some professional help from his neighbour, most of his troops are complete novices.
So really what we don't want is the grapes to be really, really full, otherwise they get squashed. So obviously lower than this level here, yeah?
Yep.
So off we go, yeah?
Yep.
See? Obviously, you know, every grape is money,
Yeah.
yeah? So...
Monty's keeping to tradition in the region. He's hired a local to keep the forces motivated. They'll have to work like blazes before the imminent storms arrive. The harvest is a big milestone for Monty.
All the way through, there have been moments when I thought, God, this is just never, ever going to happen. This harvest is never going to happen. You know, either because my back's gone or the weather's been terrible. Or... So it's fantastic to kind of see it.
Monty's keen to show his fellow French wine growers how healthy and plentiful his grapes are. But will they turn their noses up at his biodynamic crop?
C'est superbe.
Voilà.
Un super fruit.
So there's lots of fruit, slightly spicy.
Les pépins sont bien mûrs.
And so the pips are now nice and ripe.
So far, so good.
Because this is not an easy grape to get ripe, Carignan.
The Englishman's done rather well. Word has spread round Le Village about Monty's bumper biodynamic crop. Curiosity's got the better of the villagers, and they've come to check out the rumours.
Ça va et vous?
Moi, and a moi.
We've got René, the whole guy who helps me in the veg garden. And it looks like I think the mayor's turned up as well, which is really great. It's a real honour that he's... Bonjour André.
Bonjour Monty.
Merci d'être venu, c'est gentil. Ouais, c'est très bien.
Ah,
Bonjour. Salut.
Oh là là, nous sommes là, c'est ça. Oui, bienvenue.
If they were once sceptical about the benefits of planetary forces, the local sure ain't now.
Mais c'est bon, la qualité?
Oui, oui.
Tu veux goûter?
Oh, j'en ai goûté là-bas. Oui.
He said a very good quality. He's tasted the grapes. He said very good quality this year. That's a bit of a vote of confidence.
Ils ont été bien soignés.
He said they've been very well looked after, these grapes. So getting the thumbs up from the mayor is a really big deal for me. So these guys haven't ever picked a biodynamic vineyard before. It's the first time they've ever done it, and I think they're quite surprised about how good the grapes are. So they're definitely interested in it. They were sort of slightly sceptical maybe, but now they're thinking, actually, yeah, there must be something to it.
Oh, bien.
The team of 14 pickers work tirelessly through lunch until all 6,000 vines have been harvested.
That's it.
The grapes are put into the newly renovated vat, back in use for the first time in nearly 40 years. Monty's using a style of winemaking similar to Beaujolais. Whole, unpressed bunches are put in the vat and will be left to ferment, allowing the sugar to turn to alcohol and the skins to give the wine its red colour. Ahead, Monty has a tough challenge to transform his delicious-tasting grapes into a delicious-tasting wine.
Everything I've invested is in this one single tank, and the last thing I need is for it to turn to vinegar.
It's autumn in the Pyrenees. Monty and Lindsay have spent the last 9 months tending the vineyard. All 6,000 vines have been picked. The grapes are fermenting in the vat. Already, they're giving off a highly concentrated, sweet, spicy aroma.
Yeah, you're right. But did you...
That was really strong.
Yeah, is it not... Do you know when you ate the grapes in the vineyard, they were a little bit kind of spicy?
Yeah.
Did you get any of that in there?
Yeah.
Oh, so...
With Lindsay's job as a vineyard assistant well done, she heads back to the UK.
Your one is to Brussels, yeah?
Well, I felt sad today. I've had a little cry because I felt that it was a bit of the end of an era for me. We've lived and breathed it for so long, and it's sort of back to the old boring UK, and it's going to be strange now that I won't have to be thinking about that.
She'll be back to help Monty bottle the wine when it's ready. Monty must now turn his attention to the dark arts of winemaking. It's a complex process, especially for a novice.
You can see, like, a week ago, this wine's been in tank now for about a week, and you can see it's got a lot more colour, but it hasn't picked up too much tannin. So it's still really light and fruity. It's almost like grape juice, but it's alcoholic. And what I want it to be is alcoholic wine, but with a bit more structure.
Today, Monty will pump the juice from the bottom of the vat over the top of the grapes. This process will help to extract tannins, giving the wine its complexity and drawing more colour from the skins.
I don't want to put my head in the tank to really have a good look there. I've got to do it by sense. So if I put my head in the tank, I'll suffocate because there's no air in there.
Let's hope Monty knows what he's doing, because he's promised a sneak preview to a giant of the wine trade.
You know, Bill's coming out, Bill Baker, wine bar, pretty important guy. And I've got to find somewhere for him to stay. There's not really a very big choice around here, unfortunately, so I'm a little bit limited, but I've got to just check out as many places as I can.
This is a risky marketing exercise. If Bill likes Monty's wine, it could end up in London's top restaurants. But more crucially, with a thumbs down, it will dash Monty's dreams of becoming a winemaker. Bill is used to 5-star treatment, and that'll be a challenge on Monty's 1-star budget.
Oh, man, it smells of feet. And it really stinks, man. Oh! It really smells, I'm sorry to say. I've got sensitive stuff, and it reeks really unpleasant. That's no way. He'll never speak to me again if I put him in there.
Oh dear. Monty gets his credit card out and heads off to a posh B&B. Now this one looks expensive.
Oh, it's really nice. Very tranquil. It's got a nice view. Very nice bed. No, it's classic. You know, he's a classic guy. He's a well-educated man, and this is really his kind of style, I think.
Monty can't really afford it, but he throws caution to the wind in a shameless attempt to seduce Bill with a bit of luxury, in the hope his wine gets approval. Bill Baker's on an annual tasting expedition in the region, and his opinions are highly influential. But what would he make of Monty's biodynamic farming methods?
Bill's a very pragmatic guy. He's got huge knowledge, and he just wants good wine. And I think my job today is to show him that I've made a good wine, and it is good in part because it's biodynamic. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, yeah, excellent.
Nice breakfast?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah?
Very absurd breakfast, in fact.
Oh, God, why?
Well, I mean, if you and everybody else could have come for breakfast today.
Oh, really? Was it that much?
So much of it.
Well, wait.
Including foie gras, wine.
No, you're joking.
I'm not.
This is the van. I'll show you into the van.
This is very charming. Excellent, thank you. Dog! Right, down you.
Harry, it's okay.
Monty begins his pitch up in the vineyard.
My vineyard is here.
Straight ahead. Yeah.
It's here he hopes the healthy-looking vines will be proof that the biodynamics work.
OK, Bill.
Right, you objectionable you're getting out now. Out you go. Nasty noise, little hound. Disgusting hound you've got there. Slobbery as well. Yeah.
Well, here's the vineyard.
Nice place, though, isn't it? I mean, fantastic aspect, and it almost makes you want to come and live here. In fact, you would come and live here if it wasn't the French, wouldn't you?
Vineyard is certified organic. This year I put some organic compost on and some biodynamic compost as well, liquid compost.
Yeah.
And
why don't you just use horse shit?
oh, because horse shit's not good. Cow
Why?
shit's much better. Horse shit's
Well,
too
any
hot.
horse shit.
No, horse shit's too hot.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't give the right influence. Cow's much
Right,
better.
it's very
Yeah,
good on the begonias.
No, cow's the Rolls Royce of vine compost. I mean, one of the first things that I had to do was prune the vines according to. Ah, God! Harry!
Biodynamic jump in the ball.
That was absolutely. Just because you haven't got any balls doesn't mean that you have to attack mine. One of the first decisions during the year was timing the pruning according to the moon, and this vineyard was pruned when the moon was descending. It's very
Balls, isn't it? You're making ordinary red beverage wine for gulping. You know, you're not making Chateau. It's not going to make an awful lot of difference when you prune. Complete hogwash. Pie in the sky. Here's the organic kit. Here we have latrines for the use of. It has to be copper, because the vines would notice if it was made of tin.
No, this is also lined with copper, Bill, I hate to say.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Now, I've got these are the 6 biodynamic compost preparations, OK?
God, there's not much in there, is it? Do you bless these? You get a priest in to bless them?
No, that would be I think.
Really? Well, it's about as believable, frankly.
And I'll give you one example. This prep is chamomile.
You take it round a little china cup and drip a bit onto each one of them, or what?
No.
Well, Monty's very enthusiastic, he's very passionate, and he obviously believes it himself. You know, I will buy a wine that tastes nice, whether it's organic, biodynamic, made by a witch, I don't give a toss. But if it tastes good and it's the right price, I'll buy it.
You know, as regards biodynamics, he's just not really... I don't think I've made a lot of headway there.
Deluded, sad, and very, very, very funny. You're just in a privileged position that you can arse around, pretending all these things have something.
But where Monty has to win his argument is in the
Oh, a
winery.
lot of oak in here.
Yeah, not for
Is
me.
your oak?
No, I don't have the money
You're not
for
going
it.
to have any oak.
I'm a pauper. That's for you.
Merci.
So this will be the shortest tasting you've ever done, I'm afraid.
Even though the grape juice is still fermenting, Bill's expert palate can detect a good wine in the making, or a wine destined for the sink.
Well, a lot hinges on this tasting because if he has a really negative impression of the wine, he'll take that negative impression back to the British wine trade and put the word out that I don't really know what I'm doing, which would be catastrophic.
If he makes a wine that is clean and fresh and fruity and tastes of Carignan and has the right sort of balance to it, I think he'll have done a hell of a good job, whether it's organic or not organic. Hell of a colour. Yeah, it smells good and fruity and sweet.
Actually, if you go that way, Bill, it's easier. Oh well.
Too difficult. It's sweet. It tastes of fruit. Simple. He's done a fantastic job because he's a neophyte. It's his first effort. This is a bloody difficult thing to do. It's not like making a sponge cake. It's a bit more difficult than that. Should be delicious, then. As long as you don't cock it up, of course.
Next time, Monty heads to London to put his wine up for tasting with a master of wine at an exclusive West End restaurant.
I've always struggled with Carignan in the past, so I'm very interested to try this.
The big question is his wine up to it?
So catch the end of Monty's adventure on Thursday at 8:30. This afternoon, Dawn French is back having a cheeky chinwag with Paul O'Grady live at 5. The next on 4, John Wayne in Dark Command.